What is Valentine? Sorry? Celebration of love. Okay. They're looking at me as if I'm not about to answer you. I really want to know. What is Valentine? Celebration of love. What is love? God is love. Wonderful. Does Valentine recognize that? Does it? It should. Thank you. Somebody said it should. But does it? Does it? No, yes. Does it? I'm not hearing. Does it? In some areas. Thank you very much, sir. So I thought, this is our relationship service. Is that not so? And so I thought, let's look at this love thing. Yes? So I titled this message, I Love You. You are going to hear so much of it this period. Hey, I love you. Say, you mean it? Oh, my heart. He said he loves me. He said he loves me. May God give us wisdom. Both the male and the female. I didn't say only the sisters. The wisdom is for who? For all of us. Is that not so? Yes. So I checked up the meaning of the word cliche. Let me read what I got. A cliche is a phrase, expression, or idea that has been used so often that it has lost its originality and impact. Cliches can be easily predictable and boring, often lacking freshness or creativity. They can also sometimes become meaningless or inaccurate due to overuse. And guess what? I love you is a typical example of what? Of a cliche. Unfortunately. Yeah? For the most part, when people say I love you today, you really need to look very well as in, really? You mean it? Now, who do we blame for this? Why has love become a cliche? I think the blame should go to the devil. Why? Because the devil knows, like somebody said, that God is love. 1 John chapter 4, verse 16. It says, God is love, and whoever abides in love abides in God, and God abides in him. Because the devil knows that this word love is AKA God, he has decided to make a mockery of that word. All right? So love has become the key to open you to abuse, to open you to all manner of things. By so doing, the devil wants to get back at God. Many of us don't fully understand the intensity of the God versus Satan war. They do not take prisoners in that war. Believe me. Each party, the devil will do. That's why, don't you wonder sometimes how a madman or a mad woman will not die, yet they live on the streets? Have you not thought about it? Are there no snakes in the bush where they are? How come snakes don't bite mad people? How come scorpions don't bite them? How come they survive? You know why? Because the devil is happy to embarrass God, as it were. To say, look, this one was made in your image. See what I've reduced him to. See what I've reduced her to. The devil delights in anything that will smear the image of God. And so, the devil is excited about February 14th because once again, he can go to town and make a caricature of love. The same love that took Jesus to the cross. All right? That is how the devil... So I believe the devil is to blame. So what do I want to do this morning? Very quickly. I want to look at the true meaning of I love you. So when somebody says, I love you, you know what to ask for. You know what to check. All right? So that you don't sell your birthright based on a bounce check. We don't use checks anymore like before. Somebody might write a check and say, okay, I love you. Take this check, 1 million naira. Unknown to you, that check leave is outdated. All right? So you take the check on the 14th. He said, don't worry, you can just go to the bank tomorrow. But right now, I love you. I just love you. See, this is the proof. And you too foolishly. Abi? And then you now go to the bank happily. And then they say, sorry, we changed this check 2 years ago. You know it's too late at that time. You may even call the man self in one answer. Yes? So what's the true meaning of I love you? What does it not mean? How can it be misconstrued? How can you recognize genuine love? Particularly for those of you who are single. All right? And how can you truly love someone? Those are some of the questions we want to answer this morning. What is the true meaning of love? Now, I'm sure you know by now that when we say love, there are at least 3 dimensions. Again, I come back to that word. There is love, agape. This is the highest form of love. This is the God type of love. Agape represents God unconditional, self-sacrificing love for humanity. John chapter 3, verse 16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whomsoever will believe in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. The agape type of love, selfless, unconditional, loves you for who you are, loves you asset plus liability, all put together, all right? There is the filial love, brotherly love. That is the love you have one for another. Sibling love, you know, I love my daughter loves me, I love my wife, I love you, my brother, I love you, my sister, we are brethren in the Lord, etc., etc., all right? You see an example of that in John chapter 15 and verse 12. This is my commandment that you love one another as I have loved you. All right, that is the love you have for fellow believers, for family members, for friends, etc. Then you have the eros. Eros is the romantic or passionate love. This type of love is not much spoken about in the Bible, but in the Songs of Solomon, you see some, description of eros. All right, that is the physical love, the romantic love, the passionate love. The one that the world has hyped over and above philia and agape. All right? The Valentine type of love. Okay? Hear what Song of Solomon says, chapter 4, verses 9 and 10, talking about eros. You have stolen my heart, my sister, my bride. You have stolen my heart. With one glance of your eyes, with one jewel of your necklace, how delightful is your love, my sister, my bride. How much more pleasing is your love than wine, and the fragrance of your perfume more than spice. Oh, wow. Hallelujah. Sisters, if anybody sends this to you this weekend, read very well. Oh. Somebody's going to borrow this now and go and use it. All right? The Valentine type of love that we see, that the media is hyping. I'm sure you know that media is not hyping unconditional love. I'm sure you know they are not hyping the filial type of love. It is this other type that they are hyping, all right? But true love, the kind of love that you really want, particularly when we're talking about relationships, you know, husband and wife, the person you want to marry. God help you if you enter into marriage just because of, she looks beautiful, figure 8, all right? He has 6-pack. I like his hair. Wonderful, those things, please. Guys, build your muscles if that's what moves her. Sisters, work on the figure if that's what moves him. But you must go deeper than that. Because marriage demands much more than physical prowess. Okay? Let's look at the type of love that you want if you want to have a relationship that will endure. Remember, this is our Relationship Sunday, and the whole world, for this week, they are focused on love. It is important for you and I, as Christians, to be able to see through all the, razzmatazz. Are you getting it? So that you are not swept off your feet only to arrive at a place you never bargained for. All right? There's nothing as bad as getting married I was talking to somebody recently, and I said, hey, this first marriage has not worked. All right? You don't want to jump into another one so quickly. If there's anything you want to do, is to back off a little and say, hold on, let me be sure what I'm getting into. All right? Now, 1 Corinthians 13 is our go-to passage that talks about the kind of love you want as a Christian when you're talking about relationships. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 is what you call the love passage or the love chapter. 1 Corinthians 13, let's look at verses 4 to 8. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant. It is not rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. And I could go on and on. If you just, young people, singles, if you just stay on this passage, say number one, Lord, make me this type of person. And then number two, bring this type of person into my life. Believe me, as far as relationship is concerned, you are sorted. Make me this type of person. Let me be able to manifest this love on the one hand, and then bring into my life a man or a woman that would also have these traits and characteristics. All right? That is what you need. That is what you need. It's unconditional. It's a commitment. It's a love that is, it prefers the other. I see couples sometimes competing unhealthily. You see the husband trying to undermine the wife trying to undermine the husband. No. Marriage is supposed to be complementary, synergy. 2 plus 2 gives you 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. But when you are competing, 100 plus 100 gives you minus 10. Because you are canceling out each other. All right? This type of love is sacrificial. John chapter 15, verse 13. Greater love has no man than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends. You see, guys, the journey of marriage, only God knows what we're going to say inside. I remember a story many years ago. I don't have all the details, but I remember the essence of that story. So this fellow was supposed to, I can't remember whether it was a man to marry the woman or the woman to marry the man. And let's just assume for the purpose of this conversation that the lady didn't quite feel up to the man. He felt the man was not, it wasn't touche enough, blah, 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 blah. And she was beautiful, was everything. Eventually, she married the man. Down the road, something happened. Either she lost one eye or lost 2 eyes. It was that man that was not touche enough that became her eyes. Some years ago, I was attending a conference, International Christian Chamber of Commerce. And a brother came from England to share with us. And as the man was talking, the man said that today his wife is no longer able to move. She's on the wheelchair. And that he believes that, he has retired from his work, and that he believes that God prepared him to minister to that woman. And so he has left his work now so that he can be there for the wife till, they die. I say, God, this is love. Maybe when she married her, you'd be surprised. Maybe she was an athlete. Do you know? Oh, she could run. Maybe her selling point was her long legs. And now she's crippled. And the man says that he believes that God has prepared him for that. And because of that, he has left his work so that he can help his wife. That is why when you're looking for who to marry, don't just look at what you are saying now. You need somebody that can last the distance. We don't know what tomorrow holds. We don't know how it will turn out. All right? Figure 8 may no longer be figure 8 down the road. So the kind of love that we want is the love that is sacrificial and that is what? Is sacrificial and is selfless. That is, so anybody telling you I love you during this period, you better be clear where they are coming from. All right? Be clear where they are coming from. Now, we said this is what true love looks like. How about fake one? How about when it looks like it but it's not it? How do you know it is fake? Number one, it is mere words, no action. 1 John chapter 3, verse 18. Little children, let us not love in word or talk, but in deed and truth. The guy says he loves you, but somehow, When you guys go out together, you end up paying. He always has a good reason why he didn't come with money. I remember some years ago, somebody invited me to, for us to go and have lunch. It was an association I just joined newly, and that was like the head of the association. So I went to Sheraton. Only for us to finish eating, and the man couldn't find his card. I paid for that meal. I'm telling you. But it left me feeling, how do you invite somebody out for lunch and you don't carry your card? That's me, man to man. Can you now imagine you, sister? The guy's mouth is sweet, but he never delivers. All right? I'll see you, you won't come. Let me tell you something. Whatever you don't like while you are still dating is not going to change when you get married, though. I thought it would change. You are playing with fire. If you can't stand it now, you won't be able to stand it then. When it's only mouth, and once in a while, it's an opportunity to show up. Are you getting it? And he or she never quite arrives on time. He or she is never, there's always an excuse. Do you get? There's always, somebody was telling me the other day that as she'd known, she would have gone to see where the guy lives. Throughout courtship, the guy was okay, let's go. I just forgot something, Pia. Never got to see where the guy lives. Now that they are married, she's like, oh my God. Oh my God. Don't judge a book by its cover. Listen, if all you have done is see her at 8 a.m. after she has made up, you don't know her. We had a program once. I'm going to look down now so I don't look at anybody. And it was an event outside, and I saw some of our members. And sincerely, I walked past some of them. I didn't know they were here. I'm like, come on. I know this sister now. Oh, it's you. The makeup was... I did not recognize. I'm telling you, man. Somebody I know, we have gisted, we greet, but that day was something else. Now, it doesn't matter because, but if somebody you want to marry, mistakenly go to her house one day at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. before she has had time to make up. If you like what you see, then you can continue. All right? So, this love that is, and some people have it. Some people are salesmen, saleswomen. They can sell anything. They can convince you, I love you. I mean, you're too much, blah, 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 blah. He will just sweep you off your feet. Meanwhile, there's no substance. When you now say, but wait, when they now ask you that, tell us about this guy, you just your mouth is open, but nothing is coming out. You can't describe this guy, but it's like, but he has filled your head. That's a salesman. Yeah. I just, you're just too much, anytime I'm with you, I don't know what happens, it's really, wow. And your head is swelling. But when you bring it down, there's no substance. Guy doesn't have a degree, but you think he has a master's. Doesn't have a job, you think he works on so person. Because, he's dazed you. So when they ask you, you find yourself creating stories to support what is not there. He said, no, he's a great guy. He has a good job in VI, blah, 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 blah. As in, no, wait. I mean, where did he finish from? Don't be asking me that. How can you be asking where did he finish from? He's a graduate now. Did you hear him talking? Hey, you can learn funnel. Even when I'm talking to you, I can funnelize myself. You won't believe it's me. I'm telling you the truth. There was one time I went to do a training for an organization. So we were having lunch. One of Mboma said, did you school in London? I said, no, Benin, Obasaki Primary School. Because, I saw, white folks. I said, okay, let me raise the volume a bit. So I raised the volume a bit, you know what I mean? So the guy was sold. So I went for lunch. The guy said, did you school in London? I said, no, Benin, Obaseki Primary School. So before you are swept off your feet with empty words, all right, make sure there's something that you can hold. Romans chapter 5 verse 8. But God shows his love for us in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. You see, when you have to perform to earn love, something is wrong. It's, yes, I mean, let me try and put this. What am I trying to say? If you love me in the context that we're describing today, all right, then you have to first accept me the way you have met me. Are you getting it? Don't turn me to something else. Don't give me the impression that I need to work to earn your affection. Because what that does is that you will never, ever meet up. Never. If you're in a relationship where you find yourself always, the money you don't have, you go and borrow. You say, why? I have a date. Noruwa is coming. I have to dress well. You go and borrow money so that you can buy a shoe and a bag and a dress because you want to impress me. Something is wrong, oh. When I met my wife, I told her, met me in Port Harcourt, I had a good job, traveling the world, London today, Milan tomorrow. I said, sister, this is not the story of my life. Oh. My journey started from Benin in a mud house. We actually went to that mud house. I said, this is the man you are meeting. In Port Harcourt, I have a house, television, decorated. You may think that is me. I said, this is not me. Oh. The true me is from this mud kitchen. The best okra soup came out of this mud kitchen. If the person that is telling you, I love you, I love you, I love you, is shielding you, are you getting it? And you are not seeing the real person, you better double check. If you find yourself trying to be who you are not, I always say something, again, I will post that link. I have a link on my YouTube page, what to look out for when you're talking about marriage. Sometimes if you marry too high above your social class, it's a challenge. Are you getting it? If you marry too low beneath your social class, it's a challenge. Once in a while, you have exceptions to the rule. Are you getting it? But if you go too low or you go too high, you have a problem. It's always good to stay at a level that you are comfortable. If the person you want to marry, was the father has been in money before he was born, he doesn't know what it means that there's no fuel in the house. You may be challenged though when you marry that person. If you have come from a more normal, I don't know if you're getting it, he won't appreciate when things, because life will happen. Some time ago, a rich man's son in this our locality, Lagos, Port Harcourt, rich man. Very popular family, very wealthy family. This young man is probably in his 40s. And he was talking to me, and I could see that he had been so pampered that when a little shaking, the kind of thing that, we will not even think about. Are you getting it? It was a big deal for the guy. I remember many years ago, I was, coaching a lady. I told you the story before. And what was the quarrel? They said we should go and do birthday in Czechoslovakia. They bought ticket for this person. They didn't buy that person's own. And the next time I should buy the person's own. I bought the shower, but I wasn't happy. Hey? That's a quarrel, oh. They are quarreling over. Meanwhile, some of us, if we go to ShopRite, we thank God. Thank you very much. ShopRite is too far. It's a wise buyer. I don't know if you are getting it. That was that woman's problem. So you've got to be careful that you don't stress yourself trying to meet up or deny who you are trying to go down. Neither is in your interest. All right? The guy that is talking to you, nice guy, wonderful guy, but you guys are not connecting. Marriage is, the person has to be your friend. You must be able to speak the same language. So if that is what is posturing as love, be careful. All right? Now, another area where I find is that we confuse love with lust. 1 John chapter 2, verse 16. For all that is in this world, the desires of the flesh, the desires of the eyes, the pride of life, is not from the Father, but is from the world. And what are you going to see today, tomorrow, all the way to Wednesday? All manner of adverts. Is that not so? Oh, goodness me, all manner of adverts. Everybody wants to sell anything and they will attach it to love. They want to sell car, they will put love, they will put a heart. They want to sell land, they will put a heart. Everything is, and they will be appealing to flesh. They will be appealing to flesh. They will be appealing to flesh. And guess what? Lust and love, sometimes you can be confused about them. Love is typically characterized by deep affection, care, respect, commitment towards another person. Love involves selflessness, empathy, the desire for the well-being and the happiness of the other person. Love grows over time, is based on mutual understanding, trust, shared experiences. Lust, on the other hand, is primarily driven by physical attraction and the desire for gratification. Oh, wow. Man, did you see that babe? Gosh. Man. Come on. Ah, boy. Man, oh boy, that babe, my head is shocked. Ah. Oh boy. You see that babe? Incomplete. God work for him body. Oh boy, that babe, anything, man, I go for that babe. Doesn't know how. Doesn't know jack about her. That is lust. The flesh, she say, wow. Say, hey, Jesus. It says lust focuses on one's needs and pleasure rather than the well-being of the other person. Lust is often fleeting and may lack deeper emotional connection or commitment. Lust can be intense and passionate, but typically is superficial. And for me, an excellent example is found in 2 Samuel chapter 13, verses 1 to 38. 2 Samuel chapter 13, verses 1 to 38. The story of Amnon and Tamar. Amnon was David's son. Those days, siblings could marry. It was not a problem. All right? So I guess Amnon saw Tamar and the thing just entered him. Hey! He said, wow, Karabasataya. This Tamar, it got so bad that it became sick. So his friend came and said, Amnon, what's your problem? He said, oh boy, man, I can't breathe. He said, are you suffocating? He said, no. Should I do CPR? He said, no. He said, what is it? He says, Tamar. Anytime I close my eyes, I see her. When I open it, I see her. And so the friend said, so what are you doing about it? He said, what can I do now? I don't know, that's the problem. So I said, okay, let me tell you what you're going to do. Pretend that you're not well. So we'll send word to your father that you are sick. And then when your father comes to see you, Daddy, I want Tamar to cook for me. So David came, saw Amnon, said, what is wrong with you? He said, Daddy, I just want Tamar, and I'll be fine. The father couldn't have imagined what the boy was talking about. Are you getting it? He said, not a problem. They are siblings, isn't it? Tamar said, yes, Daddy. Please go and make food for your brother, Amnon. Maybe David would not even tell Tamar that the boy was saying, Tamar. He would just say, go and cook for your brother. Of course. Tamar, her brother, is that not so? Guards her down. So she goes, she makes the food, finished the cooking, and Amnon says, everybody go out. I want to eat only Tamar. So everybody leaves. He said, Tamar, come and feed me. Bring it, come and feed me. So Tamar brings the food. Moment Tamar gets within reach, what does he do? He grips her. He said, lie with me. Tamar said, don't do this. It's wrong. You are my brother. Even if you want to marry me, let's go and talk to Daddy. He will not say no. Young people, When you do sex before marriage, you are putting a major impediment in the way of your marriage. You are opening the door. You see, because if we start off cheating, who says, I will not cheat and you will not cheat? I don't know if you are getting it. If both of us knowing that this is wrong and we start off like that, what is the guarantee that when we now get married, I will not cheat on you and you will not cheat on me? Because cheating has been given license. So Tamar said, don't do this, even if you want to marry me. And if you look at that story, it was as if Tamar himself wouldn't have minded. Do you know? All she wanted was, let's do it right. But you know, when the spirit of lust grips a person, common sense takes leave. I always say to people, you know, you left your house, you paid for the pepper soup joint and the, what do they call it, 10 minutes, or you know, there are those rooms, those women that have pepper soup in front and rooms at the back. You pay for pepper soup, you book short time, short time. You book short time, you entered, you unzipped, you undressed, you will now come back and say, Satan. Which one is Satan's own now? But you know what happened to you? The spirit of lust consumed you. And everything else was zeroed out. And that's what happened to Tamar. Hear what the Bible says in that second Samuel chapter 13 and verse 15. Please put it on the screen. See what happened. This is lust. So put it. No, verse 15. Yes. He said, then Amnon did what? Hated her exceedingly. So that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater than the love wherewith he had loved her. Can you imagine? Get out of here, you unclean. Get out. The woman said, the same guy that was telling you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. The moment he gets what he wants, you will call him, he won't answer. So Lagbaja, I think I've lost my period. He said, and so what? You are saying, I thought you said I love you. Love God, love me. Am I the only one? Are you sure I'm the one? Lagbaja, how can you say that? It's too late. Lagbaja has gotten what he wants. The Bible says he hated her exceedingly. Many will suffer this faith this Valentine season. My prayer is that none of you will suffer this faith. Many, many young people. Guy will buy gifts. You know, gifts are good though, but don't let them blind you. You need to ask yourself, what is my worth? I don't know if you're getting it. What is my worth? They will buy you gifts. You know, men, we are hunters. I keep telling you, ladies, men, God has created us, we are hunters. Is it gift? Not a problem. Is gift what will open the way? Forget it, I will buy her gift. It is the way God made it. It is the cock that chases the hen. Yes or no? Yes. So men are naturally hunters. He sees a woman, he goes after her. Say, this babe, they prove saying tough. No, say, I be strong man. Make you wait first. He will send flowers. You know, women, their heart is made of gold. Say, he sent me flowers. Then he will send cake. The man that knows what he's doing. He will send cake. He will try and find out how did he go. He say, oh boy, babe, don't they chill small. He said, okay, no problem. Then he will go and find something about her. Maybe she likes pink shoes. Abi? They will just knock. Bam, bam, bam. Please, who is I don't want to call anybody's name, so I have to be careful. Please, in this office, and he would plan it very well. On Valentine's Day, they would have told dispatch rider, arrive there at 11 a.m. when the office is in full swing. Are you getting it? And then just arrive and say, please, I'm looking for Miss Lagbaja. Hey. Everybody will say, Lagbaja, you are the one. No, say, hey. When he's done, as all hunters do, he will lick his lips and say, one down, another to go. It is the nature of hunters. So don't let any man deceive you. I always say, if you love me, you will wait. If you cannot wait, you don't truly love me. It's my flesh you're after. I told somebody recently, I said, tell him, allow me time to recover me so I can give all of me to you. So I told her, I said, anybody you tell that and says he cannot wait is a wrong person. I said, tell him, allow me recover myself. And when I'm done, I will give all of me to you. If that man says he cannot wait, he's the wrong man. Because if any man truly loves you and a woman tells a man that, the guy will say, how long? I'm ready to wait. Yes or no? How can we recognize true love? Matthew chapter 7, verse 16. You will recognize them by their fruits. Are grapes gathered from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? Consistency in action over time. That's one of the ways you can know true love. Not the one that blows hot and cold. Are you getting it? There has to be consistency. You know, he will call you. You know, January to December, he'll call you. Then suddenly by end of January, he won't call you again. You will call him, he won't pick. You know what has happened? The year was ending. Maybe the person he thought would go out with him or marry him turned him down. You are a spare tire. And then he has tried again, December, January. He has found a new pursuit. He has abandoned you. All right? So genuine love is consistent over time. Genuine love is willing to sacrifice and prioritize the well-being of the other person. Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 and 4. Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each one look not only to his own interest, but also to the interest of others. And it shows in little things. It's not only in the big things. You want to enter Uber. There are 4 men. And you are the woman, only woman. If he loves you, he will say, sit in front. Yes or no? He will sit at the back. Little things like that. Even if it's his car, he will sit with his driver in front. He will ask you to sit in front so that he and his friends or family members will squeeze at the back. It is a small thing, but it is big. Those are the little things you begin to look out for and say, does this person understand what it means to love? All right? True love aligns with biblical principles of love. John chapter 13, verses 34 and 35. John 13, 34 and 35. A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another just as I have loved you. You are also to love one another. By this, everyone, all people will know that you are my disciples if you have love one for another. True love is the type of the love that we have described, biblical love. How can you love somebody? Finally, number 1, you must be able to practice forgiveness. Colossians chapter 3, verse 13. Bearing with one another, if one has a complaint against another, forgiving each other as the Lord has forgiven you, so you also must forgive. Marriage is a constant exchange of forgiveness. Are you getting it? Ask those who are married. I offend you, I forgive you. You offend me, you forgive me. We are constantly exchanging forgiveness. Anytime there is maybe you hold back unduly, or I hold back unduly, then you discover that something starts to go wrong. Because we are 2 human beings. We are different. We are going to offend each other. I said this, you thought I said that. You heard this even though I said that. So we are constantly exchanging forgiveness for another, and we don't keep score. All right? True love is honesty and transparency. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 25. Therefore, having put away falsehood, let each one of you speak the truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. Honesty and transparency for me is top on the agenda. If I cannot be truthful in your presence, if you cannot be truthful in my presence, we have no business talking about getting married. Young people, hear me out. All right? Truthfulness. If I catch you once or twice, you said something, then it turns out that that's not the truth, and then you try to explain it first time, second time. By the third time, I'm off. That's it. I can't tolerate falsehood. It's like when the Bible says anathema. It is just for me, it's a no-go area. It's a no-go area. I thought you said you went to St. Philomena's. He said, no, not Philomena, I mean Phillips. You begin to wonder, is something wrong with me? Has it happened to you before? When you meet a master liar. He said, I went to see my mom. That's why I couldn't come early. So you two, you believed, Abi? Then a few weeks later, you are with the mom. And the mom says, Lagbaja, last week, I didn't see you. You said you were coming. You didn't come. You're like, hold on. Last week, you said you went to see your mom. And that's why you didn't come. Now your mom, you know what's happening? The Holy Spirit is showing you that there's trouble here. Do you get it? So you now say, but Lagbaja, I thought you said, no, that's not what I said. You didn't hear. I didn't go now. I could have said, I said that time I said I was going to my mom's place, I actually stopped by my dad's office. It's because I said dad and mom. You know, dad and mom and dad, they are both parents. That's why you got it confused. I didn't say mom, I meant dad. Hey, you will not be asking yourself, am I? The guy will say, no, you don't understand. You know, mom and dad, they are parents. That's why you mixed it up. I didn't mean mom, I meant dad. Even if you have printed card, cancel. Because it is hell when you enter that marriage. Cancel it. You didn't mean mom, you meant dad. Am I crazy? When you are you're beginning to make us see something is wrong with you, you better run for your dear life. Because you're about to enter a master 419. All right? So be honest. If I cannot be honest with you, then I'm sorry. It means I can't marry you. Because that means you are going to be living fake life. All right? Of course, finally, seek God's guidance and wisdom. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make straight your path. If there's anything that should be clear to us by now, it is that without the help of God, we cannot love truly. That's the summary. Without the help of God, you cannot genuinely love another human being, whether you are married or not. You know, I was saying to my wife the other day, I said, sometimes some couples have pet names, honey, sugar, nothing wrong with it. But I've seen a few places where that thing is just on their tongue. I'd rather she calls me Noruwa Edokpolo and be truthful than to call me honey or darling or sugar. And yet, beneath. Do you get? I'd rather she calls my full name rather than call me honey, yet you are honey, you are stabbing me. Sugar, darling, babe, pet, sugar. If it is not real, you are calling her honey, meanwhile you are on the phone with another woman. You are calling him honey, yet you are planning a date with another person. Why are you deceiving? And even amongst us Christians, we find this. Even amongst us Christians. We have all the, the nice words, honey, sugar, blah, blah, blah. Yet beneath, just a little beneath that surface is a different entity entirely. Brethren, it is clear. The only way we can truly love is if God helps us. And please, I beg you, this Valentine season, don't forget whose father you are, whose son you are. If you are married, don't send gift to another woman. If they send to you, return to sender. If you are single, thank you very much. Be clear. Who is sending these gifts? What is the purpose? Valentine's season is like the time when the gates of adultery and fornication are flung open. Even people that are normally reserved, this is the one time when everybody does what? Steps out. So be careful. Don't become like Tamar. It says he hated her more passionately than he loved her before. Let us rise to pray.